Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is 6:30. I will call the Tuesday, June 2nd meeting of the Superior Common Council to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councillor Ledeen? Here. Councillor Van Sickle? Here. Councillor Bender? Here. Councillor Sweeney? Here. Councillor Fennessy? Here. Councillor Elm? Here. Councillor Ludwig? Here. Councillor Sutherland? I think he's here. Councillor Kern? Here. And Councillor Dalbeck?
Here.
Councillor Sutherland, could you just confirm that you're here for us, please? Yeah, there's something wrong with your phone. We're going to note you as here. We'll check again before if we end up with a roll call vote. We otherwise have a quorum. For item number 3, proclamations and accommodations, I'd like to invite former Councillor Dan Olson up to address us. We have his plaque for him for him to finally receive several weeks too late. Welcome.
All right, I'll be real brief. Thank you for this, okay? It's been an honor being here for 12 years, and it's a little odd sitting out there, Nick, so I'm going to watch you tonight. But anyway, I want to thank all of you for the 12 years. There's a few of us that have been here that whole time, Warren, you being one. Esther, you on and off being here that whole time, and most of the administration, but that has changed. But it's been a real pleasure. Shelley, you've been here the whole time, so it's been a pleasure working with all of you. We have accomplished a lot over the time that I've been on this council, and looking at you folks, I don't see anything changing. We've got a lot to do. We've got some real trying times, and Nick and Gordon, I want to thank you all as well for the safety you're providing all of us. But I could never understand the comments that were brought up, and I just thought it was a foolish comment, but it takes a village, right? I never kind of grasped onto that, but it really does. So, Mayor, with your leadership and what you're doing here in trying to protect this community as much as we can, all the things that are going on right now, whether it's a COVID, whether it's the terrible tragedy that we have in the cities. I was telling Shelley I was visiting my daughter in Richfield, and until you see, forget what you see on your phones, forget what you see on TV, forget what you see or hear. When you drive across Lake Street in Minneapolis, which I did on Saturday, that's when you realize how real this is, how dangerous it is, the impact, not only in our community, but across our state, across our country, and throughout the world. So with that being said, I really do want to congratulate all of you on the efforts that you've done. We had groups support. I'm not going to go through names because I'll forget somebody, but some of you has raised over $100,000, right, for small businesses. Some of you in small business sat and burdened the tragedy that you had in your businesses, right, no matter what it is. Some of you, a nonprofit, had to keep on moving forward with what you possibly could, and others took leadership in the form of elections. So hopefully I've hit everybody there, right? So in walking away from this podium, all I'm doing is walking away from a podium, okay? I care very much for this city. Shelley brought up something to me quite a while ago in one of her articles that she published, and if I do anything or if I've accomplished anything, the one most important thing that I didn't remember was getting kids to wear helmets on a hockey rink to protect our children, okay? All the other stuff is come and gone. We're going to move forward. You guys got a battle on your hands trying to figure out a budget, right? Ashley, you're young, I'd run, right? Take the stairs. But anyway, here's the other thing. Frog, you've had to sit here and defend the community and make sure that everything has gone right. Shannon, you guys have stepped up. I appreciate the help that you've given Terry in the tough times that she's had personally. So it does take a village, right? Linda Cadot isn't here, but I drove by the park today out in South End, and that thing is finally getting done. The surface on that thing. So there was more people in Webster Park today than there was at the head of the Lakes Fair, the one little Coney booth, right? It started raining, so those guys will be out of town. But I want to thank you, Mayor. Thanks for this. You know, one of the best things is when you do these types of things, you're not going to get along with everybody all the time, but you're not going to fight with everybody all the time either. I have had the honor to serve with 3 mayors, and I've argued with all 3 of you, but there's nothing wrong with that. That's all good stuff, and we've all been able to move forward. So I want to wish all of you the best of luck. Jack, I went to Nemadji. I won't bother you on the phone. Everything is running good from my sorry perspective. But so thanks for all that. Anyway, thank you all very much. It's been a pleasure, been an honor, and I'm very proud of this. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Mr. Olson.
Dan.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Dan. Dan?
Councilor Dahlbeck?
No, I just said thanks to Dan.
Item number 4 is approval of the minutes, and there is a typo in here. It's May 17th, 2020.
Motion is by Councilor Bender, the second by Councilor Ludwig. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item number 6 is the consent agenda.
Motion is by Councilor Bender, the second by Councilor Kern. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item number 7, the standing committee recommendations.
Just a moment. Councilors, we're going to have a couple of pieces of strange procedure here. You might have noticed in some previous agendas, we've had items that appeared twice on the agenda where they are the same thing. You're about to see that in 7.1 where an item was approved by the Finance Committee. You'll vote on it now, and then it appears later under the recommendation by Director Putz as well. We had a few conversations about that upstairs, and it just creates a potentially complex situation to vote on these things twice. And so what I'd like is for motions as we get to each of these things, and we have 5 of them tonight, to table them and consider them concurrently with their actual item. And I'll help you through that. What I'm asking for after Shannon reads item 7.1 will be a motion to table and consider that concurrently with 8.7. Does that, if that makes sense? Makes good sense. Please.
Item 7.1 is the Finance Committee from April 16th, 2020.
Motion to table?
Item 4, is there a motion to table and consider concurrently with item 8.7?
Craig?
The motion is by Councilor Elm, the second by Councilor Ludwig. Their discussion on the motion table. Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The motion carries. You can read item 4, please.
Okay. Item 7.2 is the Finance Committee from May 14th. Number 4 is to approve Eric Thomas of Sailboats, Inc. to provide a written documentation of his payment request and to schedule a special Finance Committee meeting to act on the motion within 10 days.
Is there a motion to table and consider concurrently with item 8.5? The motion is by Councilor Bender. Second. I'm sorry, who made the second? The second is by Councilor Ledeen. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The motion carries. The balance of the items in the Finance Committee. Motion to approve. Second. The motion is by Councilor Kern, the second by Councilor Ludwig. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The motion carries.
Item 7.3, the Finance Committee from May 27th. Number 1 is to approve receiving the first half of the rent payment due June 1st, 2020 on July 15th, 2020, and the second half on September 1st.
And is there a motion to table that and consider it with 8.6? The motion is by Councillor Bender, the second by Councillor Elm. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries. The balance of the items from May 27th. Motion is by Councillor Kern, the second by Councillor Fennessy. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 7.5 is the Human Resource Committee from May 18th.
7.4, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, 7.4. Human Resource Committee, March 16th, 2020.
Motion to approve.
Motion is by Councillor Bender, second by Councillor Ludwig. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Okay, and 7.5, Human Resource Committee from May 18th, 2020.
Second.
Motion is by Councillor Ludwig, second by Councillor Bender. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those
Aye.
opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 7.6 is the Plan Commission, May 20th, 2020.
Motion approved.
The motion is by Councillor Fennessy, the second by Councillor Bender. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 7.7 is the Public Works Committee from May 20th, 2020. Number 4 is to approve the addition of a two-way stop sign at the intersection of 8th Avenue East and East 9th Street with traffic on 8th Avenue East, stopping and yielding to traffic on East 9th Street.
Is there a motion to table and consider this with item 12.1?
Table.
Motion is by Councillor Bender, the second by Councillor Ludwig. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
And then 7.7, number 7, is to approve modifying the existing calendar parking exemption on the 1400 block of Weeks Avenue by removing from the east-west alley south to Belknap Street and adding from North 14th Street to Belknap Street.
Is there a motion to consider this with item 12.2?
So moved.
Motion is by Councillor Bender. The second will be Councillor Dahlbeck. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. The balance of the items from the Public Works Committee.
Second.
The motion is by Councillor Van Sickle, the second by Councillor Bender. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 8.1 is City Clerk Klon is recommending approval of miscellaneous licenses.
So moved.
Moved.
The motion is by Councillor Bender, the second by Councillor Dahlbeck. Councillor Kern?
For the record, can I ask that I abstain from this, please?
The record will show Councillor Kern has abstained. Is there discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 8.2, City Clerk Klon is recommending approval of the preliminary alcohol report.
So moved.
Motion is by Councillor Dahlbeck, second by Councillor Fennessy. The record will reflect Councillor Kern's abstention on 8.2. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 8.3, recommending approval of an outdoor alcohol consumption license application for a Class B liquor and beer for TAF and TOL LLC, the Tipsy Beaver Bar, for the remainder of the license period.
So moved.
The motion is by Councillor Van Sickle, the second by Councillor Dahlbeck. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 8.4, Finance Director Putz is recommending approval of the 2020 liability insurance budget.
So moved to approve.
Motion is by Councillor Elm, second by Councillor Bender. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 8.5, Finance Director Putz is recommending approval to amend the Kemper Sports Agreement in order to use Kemper Sports for bookkeeping purposes at the Nemadji Golf Course, and this is also includes 7.4 sub 4, or excuse me, 7.2 sub 4.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion is by Councillor Bender, the second by Councillor Fennessy. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those
Aye.
opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 8.6, Finance Director Putz is recommending approval of amendment number 4 to amend and restated lease agreement between the City of Superior and Sailboats Inc. with item 7.3 sub 1.
Motion to approve.
Motion is by Counselor Bennett, second by Counselor Fennessy. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 8.7 is the Public Works Director Janigo and Chief Building Inspector Crude are recommending approval of a 5-year contract with Tyler Technologies to supply Building Inspection Division software. This also includes item 7.1.
The motion is by Counselor Kern, the second by Counselor Elm. Is there discussion? Counselor Sweeney?
Thank you. I realize we've vetted this a couple times, but when I was looking through it today, there's 3 items that I had, but I hadn't checked off, so I'd like to ask those questions. The cost is approximately $135. Todd, are you going to be the one to answer these? Approximately $135,000 for the first year. Is that, as long as I'm not holding it down to the cents, but that's
The 135 would be for the implementation.
right, implementation. Not the 39 for the, not that, but okay. Of that 135 approximately, and that's the first year, so I assume we're talking a calendar year, correct?
Correct.
So whenever we sign that, whenever it goes, it'll go 365.
Correct.
Does that include, or I can ask it negatively or positively, but does it include all training that will go on for the first year? Whether we call it training, whether we call it retraining, whether we call it orientation, whatever word we want to use, does it cover all those things for the first year?
It's included in that price. That 135 includes that training. It's based on a number of hours or units, the way they have it set up. So if we don't basically hold up our end of the bargain and we needed another week of training, then we're going to we will end up paying for that. But that's why we've tried to set up and put all of our resources, get all of those resources ready, so we are ready to go.
Okay, so those amount of hours, did it show in the contract somewhere?
It shows on the, it's actually redacted in the, at Tyler's preference, but in the same place it says that 135,000, it gives a number of hours just to the left of that. Each of those line items is broken down by hours.
Okay. So that all the training, whatever other verbiage we want to use is included in there.
Correct.
Is there any on-site training or is it all?
Correct. I believe the majority of it's on-site training.
Okay.
And then some of it'll be, Zoom meeting, Google Meets, so whatever.
Sure. No, that's fine. So whoever is eligible to be trained or is going to be trained, if that, I'm just thinking the first year, so somebody leaves us in 6 months, the second person has to be trained again. All that is available to them, right? To us.
Correct. I think they'll be used up by the end of the first year. So after the entire implementation, they suggest it's going to take about 48 weeks. So just shy of a year going through that process before we run live. So if we lose somebody in 6 months, then we'll start somebody else, and then it'll probably be somewhat our responsibility to get them up to speed to where we are in the current implementation.
Okay. And then the additional 39,000, roughly 39 grand, that's an annual charge.
That's an annual software as a service.
For 5 years, I mean, whatever, probably go on beyond that, but.
Correct.
And that's a reasonably solid figure.
Correct.
Okay. So what happens during the time frame, year 2, if something, a non-computerized word breaks down? Who is subject to pay for it, and who's subject to, I assume that they're going to take on the responsibility, and so I assume that would be an extra charge of some sort.
You're going to have to say that again. A non-what?
Well, let's assume something happens in year 2.
Okay.
Whatever it is, okay? The system doesn't work, let's say that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Whether it's our fault of whatever. That's going to be an additional charge.
That should be on them. That's all part of our service contract with them. Exhibit C in the attachment that I had with as part of the council agenda shows exactly how to go about it. It goes through the details of who you call, how you call, what percentages of time down, our responsibilities, their responsibilities. It details out the whole thing.
Was that in this packet?
Yes, that was in that packet.
How did I miss that? Okay, all right.
Exhibit C, it says, starts with service level agreement. So it talks about how we receive support from the vendor.
And my question is, we're voting on them. This is, hopefully it'll be a great relationship for a number of years to follow, beyond 5. So did you or anyone else in your department ever, I know they alluded to 4 or 5, I think they do almost exclusively work with the businesses, cities, at least government.
Mm-hmm.
So did you or anyone in your department personally talk to anybody that they do work with?
Yes. We had nine different communities that either John or JC talked to. So the form that you saw at the finance committee, that was filled out by either John or JC in our office that had called them up and asked them questions.
Thank you. That I didn't quite understand. Okay, thank you.
Further discussion or questions? Councilor Fennessy.
The only question I had with this is this was tabled from last meeting, right?
It was actually tabled from the meeting before, but there was a mistake in the agenda, and so it wasn't on the last agenda.
But okay. So the reason it was tabled last time was because we were unsure of how much we're gonna lose. We don't know. We don't know where our budget's gonna land with the COVID, how much that's gonna cost. And Director Putz sent out an updated, more of a realistic number, and it looks like about $100,000 is the extra cost that we might incur for COVID related. In that email, it says that out of that most appears to be eligible for reimbursement. Where are we going to get that reimbursement from? Is that from state grants, federal grants?
State CARES Act money, I believe. You want to come up, Director Putz? And that would be 1/4 of what we're eligible for.
So there's 4 sources that I've been looking at so far, and not only myself, the fire department has got a grant through FEMA to cover their PPE, but then the other 3 that I've been keeping my eye on is the Wisconsin Emergency Management. That's additional money coming through FEMA. The Wisconsin Elections Commissions, which is CARES Act monies, flow through CARES Act money, which would be covering various election costs. And then my favorite one so far is the Routes to Recovery local government aid grant that Governor Evers released in his office, and the city of Superior is eligible for a reimbursement of up to almost a little over $440,000. And so far, we've reached an impact of about $100,000, and the Routes to Recovery so far covers the most wide sweeping amounts of things that I've seen anyways. And so largely most of our expenses should be covered under those 4 that I just mentioned.
Okay. And are those pretty firm? Like, do we already have indication that we're approved and it's just a matter of submitting the paperwork, or?
Right. So, for instance, the fire department, they've already sent a request for reimbursement on some items. The Wisconsin Emergency Management, they call it kind of raising your hand. So I've already done that in our grant portal. The Wisconsin Elections Commission, there's a webinar this Friday to learn more about that process. So I'm not quite sure how that one works yet. And then the Routes to Recovery, the first reimbursement request needs to be submitted by July 1st. So I'll be submitting a request in the next month here for that. And that one is the one that has there's a document online that says City of Superior and our allocation. So that seems like a very specific amount to us. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, thanks. That's great news. When 2 meetings ago, we were looking at a different picture. So mm-hmm. This is great. Thanks.
Yep, thank you.
Councilor Sweeney.
Well, actually, when does the emergency end?
Well, that's a great question. I think in the calls I've been on for WEM, I think they've largely talked about the rest of the year. The Wisconsin Elections Commissions, I know from the discussions I've listened to, I've called into a couple of their meetings, and from the minutes that I've found, it sounds like they're looking at covering election costs through November. And then the routes to recovery, I don't know if I saw a date on that anyways, but they talked about obviously the first reimbursement request due July 1st, and then they said every couple months after that was likely the plan. So I know it's a continuing thing for all the ones we've looked into so far.
So two things I learned from you just now. One is continuing, it's going on, and we think it's the end of, going through the 12/31?
At least I believe the Wisconsin's emergency management one is at the very least.
All right, thank you.
Counselor, I know you were asking a financial question, but I asked that question in terms of the public health emergency as well, and the answer that Kathy Ronke gave me was 2 full incubation cycles. Incubation cycle for COVID-19 is 14 days. So 28 days with no new positive cases in a testable region is the quote-unquote end of the outbreak. Now that's not necessarily the pop the champagne corks time, but if you're trying to track when we're out of the emergency, when people are going to really stop paying attention to it, it's a big day for us when we hit that in Douglas County. It's an even bigger day when the state of Wisconsin hits that metric. Further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 8.8 is Public Works Director Janigo is recommending approval of a 5-year fixed base operator and 20-year land lease agreement with Timothy Frenshaw, doing business as Lake Superior Flight, to lease hangar site A7 and build a hangar where he plans to operate Lake Superior Flight, giving rides in a 1943 biplane and pulling advertising banners at the Richard I. Bong Memorial Airport.
Motion to approve.
The motion is by Councilor Bender, the second by Councilor Elm. Is there discussion?
Can't hear me, I guess.
We'll get you next time, Councilor. No discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 9.1, Mayor Payne is recommending approval to reappoint Brian Finstad to the Plan Commission for a term expiring May 2023, reappoint Kelly Peterson to the Superior Public Museum Board for a term expiring May 2023, and reappoint Robert Queen, I'm sorry if I... Thank you. To the Urban Forestry Tree Board for a term expiring May 2023.
The motion is by Councilor Bender, the second by Councilor Fennessy. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries. Thank you, Councilors. Councilors, I'd like to take a quick minute. As you all know, our Chief of Staff, Ronnie Gill, retired several weeks ago. Well, we've managed to hire a new Chief of Staff, and I'd like to introduce him to you tonight. Mr. Nick Raverty joins us from St. Olaf College professionally in the city of Windham personally. I'd like to invite him up to introduce himself. Your mic is on. You can just start talking.
Great. Good evening, councilors. As Mayor Payne said, I'm joining the team as the Chief of Staff in the Mayor's office. I've spent the last couple of years at St. Olaf College, primarily working in fundraising. Have a wide variety of experience in nonprofit and public administration. I'm so extremely excited to be joining the team here, and I'm on my 4th day and new to the area as well. So any recommendations you have on places to visit or things to see, I'm very open to that. Thank you. Nick Raverty.
Nobody is allowed to tell him what the weather is like after June.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you. And welcome.
Welcome.
Under business by councilors, Councilor Ludwig.
I just want to, well, 2 years ago in February, as a matter of fact, we up here on the council.
Councilor Ludwig, could you turn your mic on, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. There. Approved a lease agreement to rent a plot of land to a community garden. And so I just thought, actually the newspaper stole my thunder, if any of you saw the newspaper article today. I didn't know there was going to be the article today, so I just wanted to give an update on the garden, and wanted to again thank the council for having faith in the Superior Community Garden Association to build a garden, and I want to thank the planning department and Mayor Payne for being instrumental in renting the plot to us. I want to give a shout out to Linda Cadott and Russ Bailings in the Parks and Rec Department for all of their help in leveling the lot and supplying the garden with mulch. And I want to give a shout out to the community for the financial support and the labor to help build the garden. We now have 24 by 8 plots for rent with room to build more, and there is a lot of activity at that garden now, and I encourage all of you to go and check it out. And so thanks again. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Other business by counselors?
Item 12.1 is an ordinance introduced by the Public Works Committee amending the City Code, Chapter 112, Traffic Code, Article 7, Schedule A stops by adding East 9th Street, the following stop at 8th Avenue East, two-way.
The motion is by Counselor Fennessy, second by Counselor Bender. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 12.2 is an ordinance introduced by the Public Works Committee amending the City Code, Chapter 112, Traffic Code, Article 7, Schedule I, streets excluded from calendar parking by removing Weeks Avenue from the east-west alley south to Belknap Street and adding Weeks Avenue from north 14th Street to Belknap Street.
So moved. Second.
Motion is by Counselor Elm, second by Counselor Ludwig. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 12.3 is an ordinance introduced by the Public Works Committee amending the City Code, Chapter 112, Traffic Code, Article 3, parking by removing no parking on odd side, Weeks Avenue between North 14th Street and Belknap Street.
Motion approved.
Motion is by Counselor Dahlbeck, the second by Counselor Ludwig. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Have to get your attention somehow.
Just one fun. Counselor Sutherland, were you able to hear the meeting tonight?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you. Counselors, we have no further business and are adjourned. Thank you.